So I've been wanting to do a video on how I find the sweet spot when I'm adjusting my markers. This is my pre-2K right feed. It has a Cocker Parts stainless valve, Cocker Parts spine bolt, WGP rig, Cocker Parts slider, Stony right feed, gotta have that, and this XL insert barrel. I like this barrel. So I was playing like last week, and my marker started making some funny noises. It usually means it's time to go through the rig. So I did that. I replaced the valve spring, and I went through the rig, cleaned it up. So I'm gonna show you how I sweet spot these things. With this style rig, it's really important that you have pressure released. And to see the pressure, I use these gauge adapters. I like this thing, so I can watch as I'm doing it and know what the pressure is supposed to be. On these rigs, it's important that you're able to unscrew this easily to make the adjustments. So I use this big goofy line whenever I'm doing this. And on this style rig, it's just a flat screwdriver. And to increase the pressure, you back it out, and to turn it down, you go in. And I just put it flush and turn it in a couple turns, and I kind of start from that and see where I'm at. Last time this marker ran around like 360 or so, so I know that's kind of where I want to be. If you've completely built a new marker, it's probably a good idea to not use this style rig to do the initial adjustment. Use one that's easily adjustable. Because you'll see as I do this, it's like extra steps to make adjustments. But other than that, these rigs are great. I think the last time I went through this thing was like 3 years ago. So, and I play pretty frequently. So let's see. We're at like 280. Start there. And another thing, when you rebuild these and you're gonna start the adjustment, put the IVG in like 3 turns, because you want this thing shooting hot. And then you want to be able to back up. You find the point where the velocity stops increasing. That's what we're trying to find. And at what pressure. It's nice to know that pressure. Just in case you're playing and it doesn't seem right, you can check it. Then you know, like, oh, I remember this thing was running around like whatever. You know, they're all different. Some people say it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. But, you know, there's only one way to find out. It's just to do this. It doesn't take long. So 237. So we get some wonky pate. That was 280. 280. 277. It's consistent, but I feel like it needs a little bit more. So release the pressure. Down to 0. Take your cap off. We're going to go up just a little bit. It doesn't take a lot of adjustment. You know, you don't need to turn this screw like crazy. It's only a little bit, and it makes a big adjustment. So let's see what that is. Good. So we're at 3. $295. There we go. 264. 234. 288. 275. So let's go give it a little more. So you can see why it's nice to have just a little screw you turn instead of doing this, but these are good rigs. That's how the cool kids do it anyway. So we're still at 3. 207, 282, 273, 285, 292. All right. So a little bit more. Let's give it a little. Let's give it a little. 320. That's just the macro. All right, let's see what we got. 300, here we go. We're gonna be getting close. What's that, right feed life? 270, 295, 272, a little bit more. We'll try to get it to like 350 and see what it does there. It's paint. Shooting that OSG paint. There we go, 350. Let's see what that does. It feels good. You'll feel it when you start getting close to it. It's like snappier. 320. Here we go, buddy. 308. 320. 298. All right, I'm gonna go up a little bit more, but we got to remember we're 350. It's about where I thought it was gonna end up. That's where I think it was running like 365 last time. Just a little bit more. And if you really want to be fussy, you could, play with this and really see the point where it rolls over. And then just back up a little bit from that. You want this thing to be firing as, shooting as fast as possible. Feet per second, I mean. And then to get to your field speed, so we're at like 365. To get to your field speed, you back up your IVG. Another trick too, if you're having for whatever reason, some days it's like you can't get that field, you can't get it to go slow enough or fast enough or whatever it is. Play with the bore size. You can go over bore and use D10 fingers. One of the guys on my team, Chris, he laser cuts these things out of plastic, and you put it in the breech, and you put your barrel on, and it will hold the ball. So if you got really wonky paint, or you have maybe some other reasons, you can decrease your feet per second with that bore size. Especially if you're having lots of barrel breaks, like the paint's real bad, real eggy and crazy shaped. That's usually the best way to just go way overboard, use the D10 so you don't have rollouts like crazy, and just deal with the velocity, So 320, 328, here we go. 322, 323. I think that's right where we need to be. It's right at 370. I don't know if you can see that. All right, so I'm at 380. Turn it up a little bit more. 324. All right, so just from how it feels, I can tell that we're there. So now it's really snappy. You get used to hearing how the marker sounds, and anyone who plays pump or anyone who's watched a bunch of pump people play, you'll hear that one marker on the field that's like louder or makes this weird fart noise. You can get that fart noise. Sometimes it's if you hold the pump forward, you'll get it. If you let go, it's just it doesn't necessarily mean that something's really wrong. It's like there's a reg that's not in adjustment correctly, or sometimes no matter what you do, no matter how many times you sweet spot or mess with springs, that marker just sounds weird. They're all individuals, you know what I mean? It's just but you know when it doesn't sound right, and that's usually when it's time to go through the rig. So now I'm at shooting 328. That's way too high for the fields that we play at. So I'm going to back up my IVG. I'm just going to turn it out like a turn and a half. And we're getting, it's probably like 2 turns in from flush. Let's see what we're shooting. Trying to get to 280. 325, 319, 311. Let's keep going. And this is where you start playing with springs. You know, you sweet spot the marker, and then if you can't get the feet per second down, you just got to switch out your hammer spring to a lighter spring. And it's like kind of a balance, because it's like that affects your pump, you know, the way the pump stroke feels. See what we got. 324, 308. 294, getting close. 269. Keep going, backing up. Give it like something like that. And we're running 380 for 75. I'm gonna roll up. Let's see what we got. 219, 226, 311, 319. So I might be needing I'm getting close to flush here. I might be needing to switch this hammer spring. I have a bag full of them. All right, let's just bring it flush. See where we're at. Some more paints. $285, $299, $284, $281, $306, $282, $297, $301, $285. So it's gotta still come down. I'm gonna go ahead and just swap this hammer spring out right quick. Takes 2 seconds. I just have a couple laying around. I've got a bag full of them. This one was pretty close to what was in there before. It's a little bit lighter, so we'll try it. I got this little short Allen key. It comes with the gold valve from Cocker Parts, which is what I usually run. I have that blue marker the other blue marker that I usually run in the videos. That one and this one. And that IVG is a little bit different. You use this. You don't have to take the caulking rod out. You just push the pump back. The key is cut down, and the IVG has these slots on the side, and you can just make your adjustments there. It's pretty neat. I like those gold valves. Those are nice. So I got the different spring in. I'm going to bring it in, so that's about a turn in from flush. Give it just a little bit and see. Hopefully it's not too light. So I got bolts. Make sure you put that in right. Caulking rod. I'm still at the 380. I got about 2,500 in my tank. Let's see where we're at. $252, $231, 247, so it's low. So we need to turn it in. So it's probably not this spring. It might be another spring if I'm going to be real fussy about where that IVG is. I mean, ideally, you just don't have that spring compress the ton to get what you need. You know, you don't want that thing compressed further than it needs to be, because then it won't last as long. Blah 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 blah. You'd be messing with it all the time. 281, 293, 276, 271, 282. I think we're there. And there we go. We're ready to play. And it doesn't sound like it did before, so I think what I did was worthwhile. And also, I've been wanting to do one of these videos. Doing this with a rig that's easily adjustable is quicker. But, you know, these are good rigs. I recommend them. And yeah.